It's a testimonial movie. Anybody who come there will see how life is, and also for people who have faith, you'll see what faith can do, because faith is the substance of the things hoped for and evidence of the unseen. Myself, I would put an experience at one point. When you talk about the urine place, we all had an experience. But one of the lowest point I ever had was when I was tempted to eat my friend when we ran out of food. So my friend was dying. And I told him, I'm going to eat you tomorrow. But I remember what my mother used to do. So she come from the church, so she used to pray. So I prayed to my mother's God, and I say, God, if you can give me something to eat today, one day when I survive, I'm going to give the testimony and give the credit to you. So if you look at the movie, the Bible is a star in its own right.
It is, and yet it's not jammed down anybody's throat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very subtly done and beautifully done, but it is the rock that you tie yourself to. Can I ask what happened? You found food the next day?
What happened is when I prayed, because cannibalism has started. We're eating snails, vultures. We ran out of food, and we're a group of 200 to 400 young people. We plan an escape. In the end, only 16 people survived. And
oh my gosh.
a crow was the one that answered my prayer that became the block to prevent me from eating my friend.
Yeah, to add something to that, it's true. We have experienced a lot of famine in our area during the Civil War, especially the 1991 famines has killed thousands of us, let alone the disease. We're sitting here. Yeah, I know what it is like to be hungry while you're healthy and you really needed it and you can't find it. So it's crazy. if you're tempted to eat your comrade, that's something.
I mean,
I'm
like
scared of this guy now.
For me, I mean, I've never been in a situation like that where your senses change.
Yeah.
My senses change because we haven't showered for days, we haven't eaten, and then my fellow human beings smell like dry meat. That's how people are smelling. Those who are died, they don't smell rotten. They smell like dry meat. And one time I went under the tree hoping I could find any pieces to eat where nobody's able to see me. But then hyenas took the dead bodies.
And that's the dry season. But
Yeah.
like I remember like 92, probably like, it was a rainy season. There's nothing because nobody cultivate nothing. So all we used to do just go eat grass and leaves. And then when you go and take a load, and then you can just come out as green as just went through your mouth.
So when you guys got here after everything that you saw, this is the part of the movie that really was exceptionally hard for me because you love your characters by the time you get to America. You just love all of you. You're just really, you two in particular, just exceptional on screen. Yes. And then you come here and Reese Witherspoon shows up and you immediately dislike her because she has no concept and she doesn't care and she can't relate. No one can relate. In our arrogance, no one can relate. So when you really came over as Lost Boys, did you, what was your experience like? Jeremiah, when you were at or you're the character Jeremiah that you play, when he's out in the back of the store,
yes.
and he's like, wait a minute, all this food, and you want to help that homeless person.
Yes.
Did you have those kinds of experiences?
We have. Yes, I have those kind of experiences, but not exactly as Jeremiah encountered those. But to talk about his character, I think he finds himself captivated in a society where he's not moving a lot. And you see him in a grocery store where there's so much food, but he has to be thrown away. So things was not adding up.
Right. When you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to eat my dude over here.
It was
now you're throwing away all this perfectly good food. He's got to be like, this is nuts.
Yeah, and then that's why Isaiah kind of viewed the boss as a lion. So a lion, when they speak metaphorically, it doesn't really mean as a lion that really ate Paul's hand. It's a lion in terms of human being that can smile to you and being cruel at the same time. I think that's what Isaiah was referring to. So in my personal life, when I came here in 1994, we came here to Lutheran Church, and we were like the first groups of guy before even everybody know about the lost way of Sudan. They just knew us as a political refugee who came to this part of the world. So we didn't know anything. Everything was a learning from the very beginning, and that's when I can admit that just we are really lost generation from war, and later on, we just had to turn it to each other and find the strength like what those guys did in the movie, and thanks God we came to society where we were welcome. And
so
what can we say?
You guys are both highly successful now. I mean, you've done very famous modeling. You've done albums or CDs and all kinds of stuff. The two of you successful. How have you not lost, or have you? How have you not lost that? How have you not become part of the problem? Have you not become part of like, yeah, I got all this and it's disposable and it's great and whatever, it's never going to end?
I think that's not the case. Like, but before I
because your
comment,
character, the one you play, he does lose his way.
he lost his way. I mean, in so many ways because he wasn't focused and he had so many hopes and dreams, and it wasn't the life that he was hoping. But in terms of where you ask Ger about experiences when you're coming to a new world, if I try to compare the experiences in the movie and actually what I experienced, because in the movie it's Paul, just to try to see how this shocks and how Jeremiah's situation is. The first time I was brought into an organized place, a complex society where there's toilet in a room, you know, what fascinated me was the toilet. You know, when you go to that toilet, I was wondering when somebody download a file there, how that machine takes everything away in front of you.
In the clean water.
In a clean water, and then new clean water comes. And then what I used to do, it's created imagination. So I used to think probably a snake would come out. So when I'm using it, I have to stand, hoping when I download the file, probably if a snake want to bite me, I just hold the head. And so that's one experience. And if I try to connect it back to Ger experience coming here, I was in Kenya, so I see the TV, I watch the movies about aliens, and I'm reading the Bible. And when I was shocked about the cathedrals, the big buildings, the bridges, the train system and everything, and in my head, I kind of like conclude and say probably white peoples are either fallen angels or maybe they are aliens. It took me a while to actually know like these people are normal human beings like me. And so, I mean, I can go on and on, you know. Yeah. The life we are living now, we've been transformed. I mean, we come from a situation where we're starving at one point. Now we have plenty to eat. At one time, I was trying to tell kids that I am in a place where I choose to eat one meal a day. And the kids would tell me, what do you mean? We eat one meal a day. I told them, in this place, people die of fatness. And one kid said, wow, that's the coolest death ever. And now you see me like, I have music out there. So through this music, this movie we just did is I happened to do an album called The Keys, where 2 songs are now in the movie. So one song is featuring Nelly Furtado and Nile Rodgers. So, and the transformation of our life, we are in a dream. We can't actually believe. We don't even know how to thank God, you know?
Yeah.
And so because we've been transformed, the way you look at it, we came from the bottom like lobsters. Now we're rolling on the top like rock stars, you know?
It is a pleasure to have you two, and I can't thank you enough for your work, and please let everybody know in the movie just how grateful I am that you made it, and you made it with such care and such heart. It is truly a masterpiece. Just fantastic movie.